that it's actually the word of God, right? I have no reason to believe that it's the word of God, right?
Okay, so then what's your like? Okay, I'm gonna ask you I have a standard of truth. So what's your standard of truth?
What do you mean a standard of truth, right? You just like go based upon the Bible, right? The standard of truth.
Yeah,
Are you
so
talking about
mine
how
is the
you come to
Bible.
truth? Like how you determine truth?
Yeah, so like, is your truth like?
Yeah,
Because
I
the
use like reason and
Muslims would say it's
logic.
from the Quran. I would say it's from the Bible. So what is yours?
Reason and logic.
Okay, so reason and logic. Oh yeah, yeah. So you're like atheist slash agnostic. You said right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So okay, so your reason and logic. Let's say your logic is to go and let's. I know some they always say, oh, why do they always bring up the violent situations? But let's just get straight to the point. So what if you think it's okay to go and rape
You
somebody
got to
or
say R word or
punch?
essay. It's TikTok TOS.
Oh, sorry. If you go to punch somebody, right? And then so if you see someone do that, you will say, oh, that's wrong by your logic. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, by my view.
Yeah. Okay. So then after that, what makes it wrong for someone else to use their logic and reasoning and say, oh, that's actually right?
Well, that wouldn't be their logic and reasoning. That would just be their preference.
How? Why is your logic or reasoning superior than theirs?
Well, it would just be we'd have different preferences when it relates to morality. Appreciate the cat. Thank you so much.
So, okay, so no, but what if that's your logic and your reasoning, that's
Logic and
their logic.
reasoning is going to be a method to like determine truth when it relates to things that are like stance independently true, right? Um, you can use reasoning within the context of like preferences about morality, but that's going to be like solely like based upon like the reasons like why like in a descriptive sense why you have a particular intuition.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you're saying that it would just be their preference. It wouldn't have to do anything with logic or the reasoning. If the example that I brought
It
up.
depends on what you mean by reasoning, right? But
I mean,
yeah,
you're the
I
one
mean
that said
logic is just how
reasoning.
you order everything. Okay, so like it's not going to use those necessarily those methods, right? Like inherently just having an intuition, right? The intuition can then be ordered by using logic by saying, oh, is this consistent with say our other preferences, right? Things like that.
So your truth is basically your own brain. That's what you're saying.
The
Your
truth
logic
maker
from your
of
brain.
morality is my mind. Yeah.
Okay. So what makes your mind more superior than other people's? So
It's
are
going to be
it,
my preference, right, in relation to myself,
but
right? So
but there's only
that's
absolute
why
truth.
I'm gonna. So what does preference mean? It means I think that one thing is superior or better than another, right? I prefer one thing to another. Okay, so clearly speaking, if I have a preference, right, that's going to be what I prefer. That's just logically entailed.
Okay. So that's if that's your okay, so that means you're saying your logic is a preference. That's what you're saying, right?
My logic is I don't know what you mean by
I mean,
that.
no, like the way you reason, the way you think is a preference, right?
Yeah, what I think about morality, that's going to be a preference. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't think there's absolute truth.
What does absolute truth mean?
Like there's only one's truth. Like two plus two equals four, like period. There's no like, oh,
So you
in
mean
my
like stance
preference, two plus two
independent
equals
truth?
five.
So
There's none of that.
a truth that's independent of someone's stance, desire, or preference.
Yeah, like it just stands no matter
Yeah,
what.
I believe
No
that
matter.
some objective truth exists, but not in relation to morality.
Okay, so you're saying morality is just based on preference, but everything else it's like absolute, right?
Morality is based on preference, but everything else, not everything else, but yeah, many other things there are objective truths about, right? But I don't think there's an objective truth about morality.
Okay, so if there's no objective truth of morality, back to my point, what makes you more right than other people? If someone is punching somebody, who are
What
you
do
to
you
say,
mean by
oh,
right? What
that's
do you mean by right? Because again, when it relates to morality, it's just a preference, right? Of course, I'm gonna
no,
prefer my
no,
preference.
morality is it's between right and wrong. Like that's what
Yeah,
the whole
right and wrong in
basis
relation to
of
my
morality is.
preferences. Yeah.
So if someone goes and punches somebody and they can say, "Oh, that in my preference that's right." So who
Yeah,
are you
that's
to
their
tell them?
preference. I disagree with their preference.
Okay, so who's right and who is wrong then?
I'm right under my view, they're right under their view.
But there has to be a right or wrong. You guys,
Yeah, the right
that's
under
what
my
I'm
view and
saying
then the
though.
right under their view.
No, but that's where I disagree with you when you say that there's no absolute truth when it comes to morality, because morality has to have there has to be a right and a
I don't know.
wrong.
Again, what you mean is just objective. Yeah, I don't believe there are objective facts when it relates to morality. I believe that there are subjective facts when it relates to morality. That means things that are true, but they're dependent upon our stances, our minds, right? That's the grounding of the facts when it relates to morality. It's not something that's independent of our minds or desires. I don't know what it means to say that something is wrong independent of something that I care about, right? When I'm saying something is wrong, I'm saying I don't like this.
Okay, so okay, but let's get this straight. You said morality is a preference, right?
Yeah, morality is a preference.
So then why are then like how did the laws come up? There's like that doesn't make any sense.
Laws have been grounded on preferences. It's just the preferences of
So
society,
you so
democratically
you
determined
think
in a
that
society. That's descriptive.
so you think that punching somebody is just and
Appreciate
then
that message. Thank
deciding
you.
what to do, you saying that the act of punching somebody or doing something violent to someone is just a preference and it's not there's no right or wrong.
You're not listening, right? I don't know why you're not listening.
No, because you keep
Again,
telling me
I'm
there's a
saying that there
preference.
is right or wrong when it relates to morality, but that right or wrong is specific to that individual's preferences, that individual's mind, right? So it's wrong under my view for that person to hit that other individual, and it's right under that one person's view to do so. Okay,
But how the world can't exist like that.
what do you mean? Why?
Morality because